Hello there, everybody, and today we're going to be playing the Plants vs. Zombies console edition. So I just got the game through Game Pass, and I had to make a full Xbox 360 account. Now, yes, this isn't the first and second level because I unfortunately lost the recording for those ones, but I still was able to keep the recording of the other 7 levels. So hey, at least I still have footage of me playing the PvZ1 console edition. One of the main reasons I'm playing the PvZ1 console edition is because PvZ is one of my most favorite mobile game franchises of all time. Okay, I grew up playing PvZ, and yes, I played it on my cousin's phone because I didn't know the name of this game. But if I had to choose my favorite mobile game franchises, PvZ is probably up there with Angry Birds, Dr. Drive, and Subway Surfers. So this game is very close to my childhood. I remember being in love with the pool levels, the pool music, having Three Peters and Torchwoods and Tall Knot combos, you know? Man, those are the days. Unfortunately, somehow when I tried to play the PvZ mobile version, PopCap literally ruined the game. Now you don't have access to lawnmowers, microtransactions, and a lot of ads. It's like unplayable these days, which is why I decided to play the console version because I have Game Pass. So yeah, this is going to be pretty simple. It's just a tutorial level, you know, the third level of the game. I have the pea shooters, sunflowers, and cherry bomb. Pea shooters just shoot the plants, sunflowers generate me sun, and the cherry bombs are just the insta-kill plants, which insta-kill all the zombies. So these guys I'm just going to use at the end of the level. I've completed the level, and I unlocked Walnut and 2 extra layers of the lawn, which will make the game harder, but it'll also mean the game is much more fun. And you could also ask me why I didn't play PvZ2. The reason is simple, because I don't think it's right that you have to spend microtransactions on digital plants and for plants which are literally free in the original game. And PvZ2 is notorious for power creep, and that's why I don't really want to play PvZ2. It's basically your average mobile game and not the classic mobile game, okay? So that's why I'm not playing PvZ2. I mean, hey, if you guys enjoy my PvZ1 content, I might play PvZ2. But for now, it's going to be PvZ1. So I'm just going to place 2 rows of sunflowers because that way I can produce the most amount of sun. And for now, pea shooters are the best way of attacking people because we don't have any of the other attacking options, you know, like 3 peters, repeaters, snow peas, or even split peas for that matter. And now we have these, and we also have different types of zombies, okay? We have the normal zombies, which they can die to 1 pea shooter, the conehead zombies, which 2 pea shooters are optimal for. And later on, we will face even more challenging zombies, like Gargantuars, which only die to, like, 2 insta-kill plants, or even the football zombie, which is very fast, and his football, like, shin pads are basically the armor of the zombie, essentially. But yeah, we're nearing the end of this level, and I'm having a huge wave of childhood nostalgia from these early game levels. And can I just say how the music in PvZ1 is so good? But the gameplay music in PvZ1 is truly legendary and iconic. But yeah, we're gonna do this level and we unlock the shovel tool, which allows us to dig up any plants. And we meet Crazy Dave, who's the only character in PvZ1 who gives us tips. He has a shop called the 20 Dinkies where all the good plants are, like the Gatling Pea, Gloomshroom, and Cattail. And he's making us shovel up the pea shooters. And you remember like why? Because this is the 5th level. And if you don't know, in PvZ1, every 5th level and 10th level of a world is a minigame level. And the 5th level in this world, which is the day world, the first world of the game, it's a walnut bowling level, where essentially the only way you damage the zombies is with walnuts. You roll the walnuts like bowling balls and they knock down zombies. It takes 2 walnuts and 1 Explodonut to kill a conehead and 1 normal walnut to kill a normal zombie. And the Explodonauts are basically the walnut combined with the cherry bomb ability. And this minigame, it's kind of stressful because there are times like this time over here when the zombies get very close to the lawn, but it's not that hard. You get walnuts pretty quickly, and you can just easily do that, and the Explodonauts, they're pretty overpowered, so that's right, it's not that bad. You'll have a few situations where the zombies get close to the red line, but nothing too serious. Plus, in this game, you actually have a full row and a full line of lawnmowers, and not lawnmowers locked behind ads. And now we unlock the Potato Mine, who is a semi-insta-kill plant, where basically he's gonna be one of my favorite plants, or at least for the early game, he's gonna be widely used. Because the thing is, I'm gonna be placing 2 rows of sunflowers because it's the best way of getting a ton of sun and getting a lot of sun to make the pea shooter defenses. But those are pretty expensive and they take some time, so I just place a potato mine on the lawn, and when the potato mines pop up, the zombies, if they step and touch on the potato mine, they instantly die. And this game actually doesn't have the Spado achievement like the PvZ1 mobile edition. They have a lot of different types of achievements, like going down the achievement screen, or the Spado achievement where you use the potato mine for the first time. I think everyone's unlocked that achievement. It's the most common achievement probably in PvZ1 history. And for now, I'm not using walnuts because these levels are very easy, and I'm only going to be using walnuts when I'm being hardcore, or if I want to stall some time to get some production, you know? And another annoying thing is the plant recharge times, because sometimes plant recharge times can be pretty long, and that's one of the only times I actually use the walnut, because with the walnut I stall the conehead. And we find a new enemy, the pole vaulting zombie. These guys, essentially, they run very fast like Olympic runners. However, they jump over the first plant they see on the lawn, and after doing that, they walk very slowly. So that's the best way of countering with them. And the funny part is, the pole vaulting zombie is only spawning on the lane where I have a walnut. I could jump over them. For now, I don't have the snow pea, which is a very good counter to the pole vaulting zombie. And as you can see, this zombie is headless and he's still like dancing backwards. But if I get this, once I get the snow pea, these pole vaulting zombies are going to be a piece of cake to deal with because I slow them down. And would you look at that? I have unlocked the snow pea. Man, this guy's so cool. Okay, he's basically the pea shooter, but with extra cool hair at the back, and he's a light blue color. Like, blue is my most favorite color, so that's why snow peas are one of my favorite plants, despite being just a reskinned pea shooter, basically. Yeah, we have a zombie, and you already know the drill. Okay, you guys have also probably played PvZ1 already in the past, so I don't probably need to explain it to you guys. But just in case, if there are any people out there who haven't played PvZ1 or have forgotten a lot about PvZ1 in the past, then I'm just explaining for these guys. And I've also downloaded games on my Xbox like PvZ Garden Warfare and PvZ Battle for Neighborville. And if this PvZ1 video does good, I don't know, like, let's say 10 likes, then I'm probably gonna play PvZ Garden Warfare for the very first time. And I'm pretty excited for that game, because I'm a PvZ fan. And also, now we get the Snow Pea, and the Snow Pea's ability, basically. As you can see, he freezes the zombies which come to his lane. Now, keep in mind, this guy is 75 sun more expensive than the pea shooter. So he's a bit more expensive to set up. He does the same damage as a pea shooter, but he has the extra ability of freezing the zombies. However, later on, we're going to have a disadvantage with the snow peas, which is that these guys don't synergize with Torchwood. Torchwood is another plant we'll unlock in the pool stage of the game. And basically, these guys double the damage of all pea shooters. But with Snow Pea, they neutralize the freezing effect. So the Snow Pea, essentially, it just becomes a pea shooter which costs 50 or 75 more sun, which is why it's just such a bad combo with Torchwood. And considering that the pea shooters are so OP and specifically designed for the Torchwood combo, this makes Snow Pea just kind of a mid plant. And Snow Pea, I've heard, is pretty mid in the versus mode, which is a player versus player mode in the PvZ1 game mode. I don't know if this PvP game mode is still like existing, because let's be real, this is PvZ1, an old game on console. Most people probably grew up with the mobile edition. Plus, it's EA. They could probably just shut down the PvP servers if they were even still online or people still played them. I mean, they literally shut down the live service update cycle for Battlefield 2 just to make space for Battlefield 2042, just because the loot box system, people didn't like it, even though people were starting to actually like the game now. because they're just so money hungry. Okay, it's so disappointing, and I really don't get how they can ruin things which already exist or which are already good on their own. I find it impossible to ruin things that are already good on their own. You have to be trying very hard to do that. But anyways, we unlocked Chomper, and this guy, he's one of my, so he's like the saddest plant in all of PVZ1 or PVZ history actually. And yeah, as you can see, I don't have enough C slots and I don't choose Chomper. And we find a new zombie enemy called the Buckethead, which I will talk about later. But Chomper, he's very weak. He costs 150 sun, which is a lot more than the Potato Mine. That is 125 more sun than the Potato Mine, which is another semi-insta-kill plant. However, this guy, he looks really cool. He looks like a dinosaur. He eats the zombies, right? But it takes so long, okay? He eats the zombies, but after that, he chews on the zombies, and it takes so long to stop chewing from the zombies. And if you don't protect him with a walnut, he's going to be completely useless. But even then, in a game like PVZ1, which doesn't have huge waves of zombies, he's still useless because, like, he's just a waste of space. I mean, you could literally just spam a bunch of pea shooters. You don't even need Chomper. Okay? And it feels like kind of a waste of a seed slot. Like, obviously, without Sunflower, you can't do this level. It's gonna be hell. Pea shooters, and so pea shooters, like, the cheap one, because snow peas, they're a little bit expensive, so you can spam pea shooters early on because they're cheap. Walnuts, just in case for an emergency situation. Cherry Bomb as the insta-kill to speed up the final waves of levels and kill those big waves of zombies. And Potato Mine as a semi-insta-kill plant, which does a much better job than Chomper. Okay, but now we find the Buckethead zombie, and this guy, he is basically the stronger version of the Conehead zombie, because this guy takes 3 pea shooters to kill. As you can see, he gets very close to the lawn, but yep, 3 pea shooters are enough to kill him. And fun fact, one of the biggest miscoincidence, or one of the biggest misunderstandings of the Buckethead zombies is many people think that the red stain on his bucket is blood. I used to even think that when I was a kid, but earlier sketches and designs show that the Buckethead zombie was supposed to be like a painter zombie. So it's not blood on his bucket, it's just paint. But yeah, we already get our firing line of 3 pea shooters and a cherry bomb, so no zombies getting through this, and I even put an extra potato mine just in case. But we unlocked the repeater, who's gonna be one of my most used plants early game. And now we're in level 1 to 9, which has bucket heads and pole vaulting zombies and conehead zombies. And I decided to change things up a little bit, not choosing the walnut, which can seem risky because I'm gonna need to use the walnut to stall zombies. But come on, this is PVZ1. Unlike PVZ2, the zombie waves are not that big and they're really easy to deal with. Okay, and there isn't like a crazy OP type of zombie. Okay, our scariest threat is the Buckethead zombie in a game where you can pretty much in a few minutes or a few seconds set up two perfect rows of sunflowers and a firing line of pea shooters. Yeah, the Buckethead zombie isn't really a threat. Okay, so that is why I personally feel like that PVZ1, despite being a really good game, it's a little bit less fun. Honestly, hot take, if PVZ2 had the similar gameplay style of PVZ1, okay, with no microtransactions, okay, and no power creep, then I think PVZ2 would have instantly become a much better game than PVZ1. But that's like never what happens because EA ruins sequels. And we unlocked the repeater, and this guy costs double the price of a pea shooter, but he also shoots 2 peas instead of 1. So that's why I'm just spamming repeaters. Also, you might notice I have a little bit of OCD because I'm just spamming repeaters. I'm not putting any pea shooters or snow peas in the firing line of repeaters, which feels kind of dumb. And also, I don't know why, but I have a random potato mine sitting at the bottom lawn. But yeah, that's just kind of crazy to me. See, I'm literally doing this. I'm still putting a firing line of snow peas. But yeah, this game was so fun to me as a kid. The endless levels, man, those are the times. And sadly, I feel like PVZ1 doesn't get as much, I don't know, content. Because nowadays, people focus on PVZ2, like the worst plants in PVZ2, or plant slander in PVZ2. Which I don't really mind, But nowadays, PVZ1 doesn't really get that hype. And recently, I think PVZ Replanted was a game. I don't know if it, like, what the game was exactly, but I've heard pretty negative things about PVZ Replanted, which is just kind of tragic. And don't even get me started on the mobile port. I could literally make a whole video on how bad EA ruined the mobile port for PVZ1. Honestly, I feel like EA should just never be allowed to touch a single video game. I mean, just look what they do. They literally ruined, like, they gave Battlefront 2 such a disastrous launch. And then they shut down the live service update. They released a buggy Battlefield 2042. They canceled Titanfall 3. Why would you cancel Titanfall 3? Isn't that like one of your guys' biggest success games? It's almost like EA doesn't want success. But anyways, we get a letter from the zombies where they say they're about to launch an all-out attack on us. And it's pretty funny that they're trying to be polite with this too, of eating our brains. But yeah, this is a conveyor belt level where we don't need to use sunflowers to get sun and then use the sun to buy plants. The conveyor belt is basically RNG. It gives us plants. But it's very, very easy, and this is basically an instant win level because you just get a ton of plants, okay? You get like a ton of pea shooters, walnuts for defense, chompers. You get every plant but sunflower, and that's why like the zombies, despite saying that they're gonna unleash an all-out attack, they don't really do anything. And also, as you can see, this walnut, which is on the second to most bottom lane on the screen, has completely been chopped up and is looking very sad. And also, this is the first time I've ever used Chomper in PVZ1, okay, in the level at least. And also, there's a cool fact about the conveyor belt, which most people don't know. Depending on how much you use the plant, the less you'll get of that plant. So basically, it's like, if you just spam cherry bombs and you just don't take them or don't stack them up, you're not gonna get that type of plant. So that's why I'm just like spamming walnuts and potato mines, because I'm just getting a ton of walnuts and potato mines. And as you can see, I've only gotten like 2 choppers. I've literally placed 2 walnuts in the same lawn, and there's like bucket heads and cone heads. Honestly, I feel like this level might have been challenging if it wasn't a conveyor belt level. And also, I got an Xbox 360 achievement called the Explodinator, and as you can see, these zombies are cooked. There's like so many things going on all at once, with chompers, with just a ton of pea shooters, walnuts as the defense, and okay, yeah, it's a little sad, but that pole vaulting zombie right there, he actually killed one of the repeaters. I mean, you get so many plants in the conveyor belt levels that your conveyor belt literally gets stuck and doesn't produce any more plants, and your entire lawn is filled with plants, and the cherry bomb just becomes completely useless, as you can see over here. But yeah, this is just a free win of a level, and I'm going to be playing the nighttime levels. Hopefully, I'm going to be playing the nighttime levels, and we unlock the Puffshroom. It will be a very important plant in the nighttime levels, and Crazy Dave is just going to yap about the nighttime levels, but I'm going to skip this, because I'm going to save the nighttime levels of PVZ1 in a different episode, okay? This will be a different episode. I'm forced to choose some plants, but don't you worry, I'm going to save this for the next episode, and I'm just going to stack up these plants and leave the game. But anyways, okay, if you've enjoyed this video, and if we get 10 likes on this PVZ1 video, then I'll make a sequel of this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.